What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at who Sean O'Malley's next fight should be, and I've narrowed it down to two options. You guys have the same options as me. It's between two guys. It's between Merab Dvalishvili and Ilia Tuporia, and I'm going to go through a couple of reasons as to why I think each guy makes sense. Let's start with Merab Dvalishvili, the guy that's actually in Sean O'Malley's division. So Merab, of course, we know he's on a crazy win streak right now. He's defeated former champions 50-40 forward Peter Yan, then went out and fought Henry Cejudo and dominated him as well. The guy's definitely ready for a title shot, and I think this is the one that makes the most sense next. In terms of how much I think Sean wants this fight, I mean, I don't think he wants this fight at all. Just the way he's been talking about Merab and stuff, he's kind of treating him as a joke, and he did say he would fight him if that's what the fans wanted to see, but I don't think that's the one he actually wants. I think he would definitely prefer the other option. And that other option is, of course, Ilia Tuporia, the new featherweight champion. Sean wants to go up and fight Ilia, potentially in Spain at the Bernabeu. That would be a massive fight. And while I would love to see this fight too, because this is two of the best strikers in the UFC, and these two going against each other would just be a banger of a matchup. Neither of these guys have done enough in their respective divisions to earn double champ fights right now. I think there should be a rule in the UFC where you have to have a minimum of like three or maybe even four, potentially even five title defenses before you get to move up a weight class and challenge for that belt. I just think it makes the most sense. And these double champ stuff, it holds up the division. And when you have a stacked division like the bantamweight division, we need to keep the champion active and we need to keep fights rolling because there's so many guys that are deserving to fight for the title. And that goes to say, like, I don't even know if I want to see Sean fight Ilia after he fights Merab should he win. Like, I think Corey Sandhagen also deserves to fight for the title. I think him and Sean would be an amazing matchup, too. I think that fight also makes sense a little bit more than Ilia Tuporia, but I think if the UFC somehow can get Sean to accept this fight with Merab, I think that he's definitely going to go straight for Ilia Topuria after, no questions. He might even negotiate that beforehand as well. So either way, I think we are going to see Sean versus Ilia should Sean O'Malley actually beat Merab. But yeah, I right now I think they're going to go with Merab, but do not be surprised if they end up going with Ilia Topuria. Now, stylistically, a lot of people look at this matchup between Merab and Sean O'Malley and think that Merab's just a complete mismatch for Sean. Horrible matchup, and he's just going to get a hold of him and ragdoll him and win the fight like that. But, I mean, we've seen Sean in wrestling exchanges already, and that was always the question when he was going to be facing this high-level opponents like Aljamain Sterling, like Piotr Yan. I mean, he was taken down in those fights as well, and he bounced back up a majority of the time. Yan was giving him more issues than Aljo, to be honest, and Yan, he did find some success in the wrestling, but Sean was able to roll out a lot of stuff and also just find a way to get out of it and put pressure back on Yan. But I mean, obviously, Piotr Yan's wrestling isn't Merab's. I mean, we saw that, but it doesn't mean like Merab's just gonna go in there and completely ragdoll him, especially this version of Sean O'Malley. Because I think that Cheeto performance even showed us that this is a different Sean O'Malley. This Sean O'Malley is even better than the one that we saw before against Aljo, even better than the one we saw against Piotr Yan. This is a completely new Sugar Sean, and he's a champion now. He has that confidence, and he's showing it. And I think he would be very calm in a fight with Merab, and I think he has a lot of tools that would actually give Merab a lot of trouble.
I mean, he definitely has the reach advantage over Marab. Marab's like a good foot smaller than him, so I mean, that's definitely on Sean's side as well. I think the knees is what's going to give Marab the most trouble, though, to be honest. I think if Sean's throwing those knees that he was throwing against Cheeto, I think that could put Marab's lights out, especially when Marab's trying to go in for a takedown or something like that. I mean, the only reason they didn't knock Cheeto out was because Cheeto was a chin of steel, so I mean, it's not really Sean's fault there. I mean, he tried his best, but against Marab, I think he would find a lot of success with those knees, and I think his striking in general would just give Marab a lot of trouble. The reach combined with the power, it's just not a good mix for Marab. I mean, if Marab is able to land takedowns on him, then it's going to be his fight, and Sean's just not going to win. But that's a big if, and it's going to be tough for Marab to get Sean down there because Sean knows how to keep his distance. He's going to be feeding Marab with teep kicks, feeding him with stuff upstairs, keeping him away with the jab. So it's going to be easier said than done for Marab. But if he can get him to the ground, I do see him winning. It's just I I don't think he's going to be able to, and I think he's really going to struggle with Sean striking, and eventually just end up losing. And that brings me to the other potential matchup for Sean, and that is against Ilia Tuporia. And I'll just go and say right now, I don't think he wins that one. I think that Ilia is the worst possible fight for Sean at this point. I think that, yeah, Sean has the reach advantage, and we did see Ilia struggle with a guy like Jai Herbert who had a reach advantage against him, but I mean, wow, I can't believe I just compared Sean O'Malley and Jai Herbert. But yeah, it's a similar type of look, anyways. And I think that while he did struggle there, he's not going to struggle against Sean. I think his style is perfect for O'Malley. He loves body shots, and Sean being a scrawnier ish type of, not scrawny, but a little more skinny, it's easier to rip to the body on him and do more damage. And I think just Ely would have he'd have so much fun with that. I think he'd be ripping to Sean's body all night. Sean would be covering up, and then eventually it would just open up a shot upstairs for Ilya to land and KO him. I don't like that matchup at all for Sean. I think Sean should try and avoid the Ilya fight as much as he can. Try and get a couple more title defenses and then go up and do that, because I think that's going to be a career-changing moment for him, and I don't like it for him, especially going up in weight as well. That never helps guys. So yeah, I think I would try and stay away from that Ilya matchup. I think Ilya has a lot of threats that he can give Sean on the feet and on the ground, and it's not a good matchup for him right now. But who knows? I think Sean could still hurt Ilya. I think he could definitely find a shin. He's a good enough striker to do so, but with Ilya at the top of his game right now, that's just going to be so tough. So yeah, who I think he should fight next is Merab, and I think that that will be what they go with next. I think Merab will be the next fight, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did just try and do the Ilya thing, because they know there's a big fight to be made there, and in front of Spain at the Bernabeu against Sean O'Malley. I mean, that'd be crazy, and it'd be one of the best cards ever, honestly, if they were able to pull it off. But I don't know. I think that Sean still has some work to do at bantamweight. Yeah, he just picked up his first title defense, but it wasn't against an opponent that a lot of people thought should have been fighting for the title. So if he can beat Merab and maybe even Corey, then go up and challenge Ilya, and I see no problem with that. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it's beat Merab and then go and fight Ilya. I don't think he'd stick around for another title defense and risk the opportunity of not getting to fight Ilya. So that's probably what's going to happen after the Merab fight. But as long as he fights Merab and actually has a good win over a proper contender, I have no issue with him going up to featherweight, seeing as he is a big star and the UFC likes to put on big business. I'd understand why they do it, and I'd be super excited for that fight. But there you have it, though. That's who I think Sean O'Malley should fight next. I think it should be Merab, but we'll have to wait and see. Let me know what you guys think, though. Who do you think is next for Sugar Sean? Do you think it should be Merab? Think it should be Ilya, or someone completely different? Let me know what you guys think. I always love hearing what you guys have to say. And yeah, thank you all for watching another one of these videos. Consider liking and subscribing. Always helps out a ton. And we're going to be discussing a lot of more UFC related topics in the near future as we get closer to UFC 300. So come by, check out some of those videos if you're interested in. Yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.